I had a woman email me and ask me this question. She said, I am a black woman who has been hurt by a black man. I found out that during our 7-year relationship, my black man cheated with nothing but white women. It's led me to become quite racist, unfortunately. Now, I did not give up completely on black men, but I am currently seeing a Hispanic man. I never thought I'd be down with the swirl, and I can't help but feel bad that it's not black love. My heart is torn. Am I swirling by dating a Hispanic? It's funny because I've addressed this a few times. There's a big misunderstanding when it comes to race, nationality, and culture. Technically, you could be swirling, but then again, technically, you might not be. It depends what race the Hispanic man you're dating is. You said you're dating a Hispanic guy, but I don't know whether he's a black Hispanic guy, a white Hispanic guy, a biracial mixed Hispanic guy, an indigenous, native, Taino Hispanic guy. You haven't told me that. You simply told me his culture. So it really depends what race the Hispanic man you're dating is. If he's black or mixed, if he's a black or mixed black and something Hispanic, then no, you're not swirling. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is that Hispanic is a culture, not a race or even an ethnicity. You can be any race and also belong to the Hispanic culture. Yes, there are white Hispanics. There are Native American / indigenous Hispanics, black Hispanics, and also mixed race, biracial Hispanics. So it depends on his race whether you're swirling or not his culture. A lot of people in the United States seem to think that the only black people are people of African descent from America. There are people of African descent all over the world who are not African American. The black community is much bigger than just African Americans. There are black people of all nationalities and culture. You have black Caribbeans, black Hispanics, black Europeans, black Asians, black people in Australia. Black people are everywhere. Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Brazil, Colombia, Suriname. The list is endless. They are all a part of the African diaspora. It's the same way you have white South Africans. They're South African by nationality, but they're not black. They're white. They're not even indigenous to Africa. They're not real Africans. They're indigenous to the Netherlands. They are Dutch. They just happen to now reside in Africa. I remember seeing a page on Instagram which was about swirling, and they always will post pics of Hispanic men with African American women and call it interracial. The 80% of the time they were posting pics of black or mixed Hispanic men. So no, it wasn't interracial. It was simply intercultural. They have different cultures, but it's the same race. It's like my mother. She's Puerto Rican. She's an Afro-Latina. My dad's Jamaican. He's an Afro-Caribbean. One looks black and the other looks biracial. They weren't in an interracial relationship. They were in an intercultural relationship. My DNA results spoke for themselves. I'm 62% African. So that means my mother had to have a certain amount of African in her, right? So if we go by the premise that with your DNA, you get 50-50, 50% from one parent, 50% from the other, right? And if we also go by the premise that most African Americans have around 75% African in them, so let's assume my father was 75% African. That would mean I may have received 37.5% African DNA from him, which leaves me with another 24.5% African DNA to be accounted for, which would come from my mother, 24.5%, right? Which would mean that she could be around 49% African. Well, DNA speaks for itself, right? I don't have any white parents. And yes, I'm 24% European and 14% Native American. So y'all do the math. My results are very similar to somebody that has a black parent and a biracial parent. But to answer the sister's question, yes, you could be swirling. You might not be. It depends on his race. Not simply because he's Hispanic. That's just the culture. Even the American census states that Hispanic is not a race, and he must select a race after selecting Hispanic. I have quite a few videos talking about the definition of race, nationality, culture, and also about so-called Hispanics. For example, when I say Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are black, I'm not talking about Hispanics like Ricky Martin. His grandparents are from France and Spain. So yes, Ricky Martin is a white man. His ethnicity is real Spanish from Spain and French. I'm talking about the black and biracial mixed Puerto Ricans of African descent. I'm going to put a link in my description to a few videos that might help people understand this a little more. I'll also put the links in the comment section so everyone can get a chance to look at these videos. So black love doesn't mean that you're limiting yourself to one group of people or one ethnic group. Yeah, black love means that you're sticking with a particular race or people that may be biracial who identify with black, but black love is bigger than just African Americans. You're talking about people from Africa, people from the Caribbean, South America, from Europe, all over the world. Stop focusing so much on just African Americans. Yes, you can branch out and focus on other cultures of Black people, other nationalities of Black people. You'll find that your options are actually bigger than you think. A lot of people who swirl say that they don't want to be limited in their options, but they don't realize they're limiting themselves because they're talking about just the African American community. Peace, love, and coconut oil.
Hey man, that's racist. Please remember that from now on, brand new never before seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a Black-owned, Black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at angel_IKYG.